All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Let me make sure I say that right now because oftentimes I don't get to look to see who may be tuning in. So thank you for tuning in. Hope something's going to bless you today. We're going to get started, get this thing rolling. Today, we're going to talk about lower your standard. Lower your standard. And you may be thinking, now, what type of inspirational message is this? Well, I'm telling you to lower your standard. It's a great one because I'm not saying lower your standards with an S. I'm saying lower your standard with no S. All right, what is a standard? A standard is a level of quality of attainment. It's an expectation. It's also a standard form of measuring. If you think about houses are built to specification. Education is taught according to standards. Roads are built. Even the food you buy, there's certain specifications that have to be a part of that to make sure it is just right like it's supposed to be. Now, should you have standards? Absolutely. There should be always a measure. You're looking at yourself and what you want to have out of life. Why lower it? Why should you lower your standard? Because your standard represents you. And something about a goal, your goal may be bigger than what you have put or willing to put in to bring it into fruition. This is why I say you have to learn to lower your standard. Because you may want all of this, but you're not capable yet. And I have to say yet because I don't want you to lose hope. You may not be capable yet of achieving all of what you actually want. Okay, me personally, I have an appetite for a Porsche Panamera and a Rolls-Royce Ghost. Yesterday when I checked my account, I didn't have $450,000 to go and buy each one of those cars. So if I needed to buy a car yesterday or I wanted to buy a car yesterday, I would have had to lower my standard to get something I can actually afford. Does not mean it's not going to happen. Does not mean it's out of my reach. But it meant at the time of yesterday, I did not have what it took to get the type of standard I wanted. Yes, I saw it. Yes, I made a plan for it. Yes, I'm going for it. But there's a lot of work that has to be done to get whatever it is you want. And here's something to take a note of. Our wants shouldn't match our standards, but the work we're willing to put into it. Because too often we feel like we can just go and do something. We can just up and just grab whatever we want out of the sky, but it doesn't work that way. There's a level of work that has to be put into it first. There's a certain mentality it takes for it to be done first. First, you have to see it. You got to visualize what it is you want, where it is you want to be, who you want to be. And that's when you make the plan to make that happen for you. Going back to what we talked about earlier, everything that's built according to specification. You don't just buy materials and build a house without knowing how that house is supposed to look, without knowing the right measurements of every piece of wood, every piece of drywall, without knowing the screws you're going to need, the nails you're going to need, how much concrete has to be poured. And in your life, you got to know what pieces of wood you're going to need. You got to know how much concrete is going to have to be poured. Again, it doesn't mean what you want is out of reach. You just have to know how to go about attaining it. We see this all of the time with relationships. You got guys trying to find the perfect woman. You got women trying to find the perfect man. And here's what you have to understand. A common misnomer is we can look for an A+ spouse even though we're C- material. It does not work that way. It does not match because you want something that you have not brought yourself up to be. So that's why men chase women for years. That's why women chase men for years, because what they're looking for doesn't match where they are at that time, and they feel as if they're supposed to have it. Okay, if you go to school, I work at a college, had finals last week. A student who refused to go to school, refused to take notes or do homework, give themselves a small likelihood of passing the class. Okay, so that's just typical life. And when we look at it from those type standpoints, no different if you want to raise on your job, but 2 days out of the week you're late, the other 3 you take off. Doesn't work that way. You have to lower your standard to say, you know what? I have to take an honest assessment of myself. To lower your standards means to make an honest assessment where you are and juxtapose it to where you think you are. You're virtually looking forward and also working backwards to get to be where you want to be. Look in the mirror. All right, not just look at your phone. We are a selfie type people. People take selfies all day, every day, and there's nothing wrong with that. Please understand, I'm not bashing you taking a selfie with your phone, but I need you to take a selfie of yourself. Spell the word selfie, S-E-L-F-I-E. Selfie, look at it like this. It is a self-internal evaluation. So before you take that selfie on your phone and post it on social media, I need you to be able to do that for your own self. I need you to be able to look at you on the inside and say, you know what, this is what I have to work on. This is an area where I have to improve. You know, I'm a little bit lazy at times. I've got to get over that. I think too negative at times. I've got to get over that. I think somebody else is better than me. I've got to get over that. That's how you take a true internal evaluation to be able to get where you want to be. Go back to a Porsche Panamera and a Rolls Royce. Even if I could afford it, I got to be able to maintain it. I got to be able to put gasoline in it. I have to be able to afford the insurance on it. So again, when you look at yourself and evaluate, you have to make sure what you're ready for is for the long term and not short term. This is why we have long-term and short-term goals. Your short-term help to propel you to your long-term, which allows you to sustain with whatever it is you want to do. You can be as big as you want to in this life. You can do whatever you want to do in this life, but you have to be prepared for it. You have to have put in the work to get there, and when you get there, you still have to continually work. Nobody gets to do whatever it is they want to do, and they stop working. That happened that way. That's why you have so many one-hit wonders. That's why you see people in the movies and you never see them again. It's like, wow, what happened to them? Because they wasn't prepared for the long run. Why do you want to just prepare for the short term? That saying, give a man a fish, he eat for a day, teach him to fish, he eat for a lifetime. That's the type of mentality you have to have with whoever it is you want to be. Stop just looking for the quick bang. Look for the long book. Okay, it's like when you go hunting. There's some guys who hunt, they'll let a small buck pass by because they know he's going to be bigger the next year. And he's not worth the time right now. He's not that trophy to put on the wall right now. You want to be that trophy that you can look at yourself and you can be viewed upon for a long time. That's how you get favor. That's how your reputation goes a long way. And even those behind you, man, they can still talk about you and everything you've done and every person you was. So how are we going to do this? Going forward into 2019, let's look at going forward first. Stop making overzealous New Year's resolution. This is a way we crush ourselves because we have all these plans for January 2019, and by February, we're starting to fizzle. By March, we're almost burned out. By April, we forgot all the aspirations we had in December. And 2019 can be the best year of your life. But again, you got to know where you are and know what you're capable of doing step by step. Okay? Look at life like a child. You ever watch a child when they first start walking? They're very careful with taking that next step because they want to make sure they are guaranteed they can take it. And life is the same way. There's nothing wrong with taking the steps. You just got to know you can actually take that next step, then the next step. That's called walking. If you're only taking one step, that's called stepping. You get a whole lot further in life than walking, then stepping. You don't believe it? When you get ready to go to work today, what are you going to do? You're going to walk out of your house. You're going to walk to your vehicle. When you get there, you're going to walk into the establishment. You don't just step to get there because it takes too much long of a time. And you got to have grown to where you're walking in life and you're not just stepping. And when we talk about these New Year's resolutions, don't let your excitement overrule your endurance. Yeah, you got to have some endurance in life. Yeah, you got to be willing to have a no matter what mentality. It didn't happen for me today, but no matter what, I'm still going to get it. I didn't get it right today, but no matter what, I'm going to be okay. I failed today, but no matter what, I'm going to pick myself right back up. I'm not going to beat myself down about it. I still have to go on. So make sensible plans in life. When you make sensible plans in life, you can cope a whole lot better. All right, ending this thing, working backwards for 2018, what do you need to do? Be honest, but don't be too hard on yourself. And too many times we beat ourselves too much. And we talked about building a house earlier. If you hit a hammer to a nail, you want to get it just right. If you hit it too hard and too much, you're going to penetrate more than what you plan to penetrate. And what's happening is we beat ourselves down so much, we're doing more damage than we're doing help. So we have to know that balance. Yes, you want to prepare yourself. Yes, you want to push yourself, but you also have to know where you are for that time. That's why we're talking about lower your standard. And that's all the time I have for today. And I'll note for today, be you, do you, and with it, whatever you be, do you better than anybody else have ever done it. Talk to you later.